He planned to tow an Arctic iceberg into the desert, then make money selling ice cubes. His plan? Strap engines onto the iceberg and tow it downriver all the way to the sand. It was obviously a money-losing venture. The iceberg would melt long before it got there. But the boss, Wang Duoyu, didn't hesitate for a second, because he had to burn through 1 billion yuan within just 1 month in order to inherit a fortune of 30 billion. To speed things up, he even brought in Zhuang Qiang, a legendary loser in the investment world, a man who had never made a successful deal, to help him tank the money faster. Wang thought blowing through 1 billion would be a piece of cake, but to his shock, the iceberg project backfired. They discovered a few baby polar bears on the ice. Coca-Cola immediately swooped in and bought the image rights. That doomed investment made a huge profit. Then Zhuang Qiang, who had failed his entire investment career, poured money into some worthless land in the middle of nowhere. But out of the blue, the government announced major development in that area. The land prices skyrocketed, another 10 billion in unexpected gains. Wang Duoyu was devastated. The more he tried to lose money, the more it multiplied, like it had a mind of its own. That's when he finally understood why the rich just keep getting richer. So he came up with a new plan, one that had to fail. He launched an insurance company and rolled out a product called fat loss insurance. For every ounce of weight you lost, you'd get 28 yuan in return. Wang threw in all his remaining assets as the payout fund, hoping to finally go broke. The policy triggered a national fitness craze. Gyms were packed to the brim. No one drove anymore. People ran to work, all chasing the weight loss dividend. And it worked. The payouts drained the fund rapidly, and Wang saw his fortune finally shrinking. Just when it seemed the mission was nearly complete, disaster struck. The company's CFO, Xia Zhu, was kidnapped. The ransom? 10 million yuan within 24 hours. After spending time with her, Wang had already fallen for Xia Zhu, but the inheritance contract was clear. He could not use the money to help others. If he did, he'd lose everything. What Wang didn't know was that this kidnapping was actually the final secret test. If he chose wealth over love, he'd be deemed morally unfit and disqualified for good. But he had no idea. Faced with a heartbreaking choice, Wang threw a wild party to distract himself, blaring music to drown out his conscience. As the clock ticked down, Xia Zhu slowly came to terms with the truth. Maybe she really didn't matter to him that much. Maybe he would never show up. In a daze, she thought she saw Wang coming with the ransom, but it was just her imagination. There was no way he'd give up 30 billion for her. Then, just as the deadline was about to pass, she heard sobbing from downstairs. It was Wang Duoyu, sitting on the stairs, crying with his eyes shut, too afraid to look up, afraid that if he met the kidnapper's eyes, he'd be killed on the spot. Tears streamed down Xia Zhu's face. She never imagined that Wang would actually give up the entire inheritance, just to save her. And it was that very choice that proved he had passed the test. In the end, Wang Duoyu inherited the full fortune.